Hey, what's going on everyone? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to the Steam 2 video. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a new Warlock build that's all about perfecting the Suspend Warlock. Now with the new Exotic, the Warlock and Suspension are the best they ever been. And it kind of fits a problem that the Warlock Suspend always kind of ran into. So this build is going to give us variability, damage resistance, tons, and I really do mean tons of suspension, as well as a bunch of ad clear and just chaining capabilities. So if you guys are even looking for a strand build for your Warlock, then this is going to be the perfect one. And if you guys end up enjoying the video, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe to the channel in case you guys ain't already for some more Destiny 2 builds. And let's not waste any time, let's get started. And first we gotta start with the actual exotics we're running on this build. Now the main exotic that we're going to be using for this build is the brand new Warlock one, the Deimosuffusion. Whenever you have a strand super equipped, casting a rift will suspend nearby combatants, which is a pretty nice ability, especially when enemies are like right above you. Being able to suspend everything around you is going to be very nice. And your suspend deals damage over time that will heal you. This right here, I think is the most underrated part of the exotic, and also something that works really well with some of the aspects and fragments that we're running, because that damage over time can lead to enemies just dying while they're suspended, which means that they're going to suspend other enemies that might be around and maybe didn't get suspended with the initial suspend. And the whole time that the enemies are suspended is also going to be healing you, meaning that it does give you a bit of survivability as well. And lastly, whenever targets break free from the suspension, they suffer additional damage, and defeating suspended targets heals you a moderate amount. The amount of health you get from actually defeating the suspended targets is definitely very nice. And the extra damage the enemies take whenever they are breaking out of suspension is also good, because if that damage does kill them, they're gonna trigger another suspension burst that gets more enemies around. This helmet right here, because of all the damage that you're doing just by suspending targets, it makes it very easy to chain suspensions just back to back to back. Now when it came to the exotic weapon, there's a lot of different choices that I could have gone with, but I decided to just go with that good old suspension machine, the Wishkeeper. This thing is just made for suspensions, and with there being a couple of like mods that benefit bows in the artifact this season, it is like the perfect time to actually use the Wishkeeper. With this, we're going to be able to do a lot of suspensions just with our weapon ourselves, and whenever we suspend targets, it will also reduce the draw time, meaning that we can draw it faster, as well as give us increased damage against suspended targets, so we'll do more damage to everything that's suspended. It is a very good weapon whenever you like want to go full in into suspend, which is exactly what we're doing with this build. And if you guys don't have the Wishkeeper, you can actually go get it by playing the Starcross mission in the Pinnacle playlist. For your other two weapons, you don't really have to go to anything specific. I had the Rocket Pulse Rifle, the ARC one, the new one, but that's just because this thing is just a beast. So I recommend that you give this one a try if you guys haven't tried it that much, although I'm sure that most of you guys have probably tried it by this point. As long as you have a good special and heavy weapon, you're gonna be in a pretty good spot. Now for the subclass, we're gonna be wearing this on just regular Strand Warlock. For your class ability, I recommend the Healing Rift. Empowering Rift also works pretty well, but I just kinda like having the extra safety of the Healing Rift. For your grenade, you actually wanna go with the Shackle Grenade. And the reason that we're going with the Shackle Grenade is because it's gonna work very well with our main aspect that we're gonna be taking advantage of, and it's gonna give us a crazy amount of just suspense. Another aspect that I'm talking about is Mind Spot Invocation. This essentially is going to give all our grenades increased functionality, and for our Shackle Grenade, this going to let us consume it to activate Weaver Strands for 25 seconds. During Weaver Strands, whenever we get any sort of final blows, with anything, with our abilities, with our weapons, with just some of the random damage that we may do, any sort of damage that we do will cause a suspended detonation wherever that enemy ended up dying. This is going to give us a crazy amount of suspend, because no matter what we're killing, we're always going to be doing suspending bursts, and those enemies that we suspend, if they get defeated as well, then they'll do even more suspending bursts that will suspend more enemies around. You can pretty much just constantly suspend groups of enemies if you're constantly proccing this. And it lasts for a pretty long time after consuming our grenade, 25 seconds, and because we're going to be getting our grenade back so quickly, we're basically are always going to be able to actually activate this. So you just consume your grenade, and you can see that we have the 25 seconds, and then whenever we get a kill right here, the other one explosion. The explosion is kind of small, so it is not going to be like a huge explosion It's gonna constantly just get big groups of enemies, but it can get other enemies. And when those enemies die, as you can see, they also make a suspending burst as well. And since enemies actually take dot damage while they're up there because of our helmet, that will also trigger more suspending burst. So it actually pairs up with the helmet very nicely. And if you did miss out on a couple of enemies, as long as some enemies are suspended, you're gonna be able to just continuously suspend over and over again, kind of like in this clip that I'm gonna show you in the Grandmaster. And when actually playing with the build, we're going to have a lot of things that are going to help us just be able to constantly consume our grenade, so we can always keep the Weaver Strands up and always continue to suspend enemies. Now our second aspect is going to be the Wonder, our tangles that we throw attach to targets and detonate into a suspending burst. And whenever we destroy a tangle, it will also create a suspending burst after a short delay. And this gives us again another way of just suspending target. Now for the fragments, we're going to have the thread of generation. Whenever we deal some damage, we get grenade energy. This is going to be very nice for just keeping the uptime on our grenades. After that, we're going to have the thread of wisdom. Whenever we defeat suspended targets, it creates orbs of power. And this gives us a very easy way of just creating orbs of power for our teammates as well as ourselves. After that, we're going to have the thread of mind. Whenever we defeat suspended targets, we gain some class ability energy. And us constantly using our class ability will let us get more orbs as well as get our abilities back faster. And the final one is the thread of warding. Whenever we pick up orbs of power, we get woven mail. This is just to give us a bit more survivability with the damage assistance from woven mail. And since we're going to be making so many orbs, this is something that we're going to be able to proc pretty easily. Now for the artifact, to be completely honest, there's not that many strength things that are going to help us, but there's a couple that we can take advantage of. The first ones right here are going to be Armor Smith as well as Counter Energy. Counter Energy is going to give us back energy whenever we stun some champions. That's always very nice. And Armor Smith is going to give us some damage assistance whenever we break a combatant shield, just giving us even more survivability. Another good one is going to be Press the Advantage. Whenever we break a shield, it gives our weapon increased stability, handling and reload speed. Reload at range is also another one we can take advantage of, which is going to give us more reload speed on precision kits. And lastly, Fastest Draw as well as Elemental Siphon is going to be pretty good. This one's going to let us make more tangles. And then the Fastest Draw is going to give us some flinch resistance, which is not really a big thing, but that just kind of shows you how damn bad we're actually for some mods, because we just don't have that many that actually work that well with either Strand or with the bows. We have a couple of them in the bows, like Unstoppable Bow, so you will be able to stun champions with it. But this weapon already had Unstoppable just got built in because of the way that the bow is and being all about suspend. So that's not really helping us. But those couple of mods are going to be the ones that you want to run. If you do want to run this build, they're going to help you a bit. Like the damage assistance, I think the damage assistance and the energy back on champion stuns are probably the best ones. Besides that, all of them are pretty meh. For the helmet, I kept it pretty simple. I had heavy ammo finder, special ammo finder for my other two weapons. Since whenever we have Weaver Strands, we don't actually have to use the bow only. We can use our heavy, we can use our special. Any kill that we get will actually trigger that suspending burst. So that's when you really want to take advantage of your heavy and your special and kind of just clear out more enemies that way. And then we had the Harmonic Siphon, that is for our bow, so we can make more orbs. For the gauntlets, we mostly went into melee, since we are going to just be consuming our grenade over and over again and never really throwing it. So whenever we get a kill with our melee, we'll make orbs. Whenever we pick up orbs, we'll increase our melee stat, and also causing damage with our power melee will reduce our grenade cooldown. For our chest piece, we just have the resistances. I recommend Concussive Dampener, Sniper Damage Assist, and then whatever the last one is the one that you really need. If you need Solar, you slap on Solar, Void, Stasis, Arc. This is the one that you can change around depending on the activity you're doing. But since most of the time we're going to be kind of far away, that's why I went with Sniper Resistance. For the boots, I have Absolution as well as Orbs of Restoration, so we can get our abilities back faster whenever you pick up orbs, as well as a strand weapon surge to give our bow just a little bit more power. And lastly, for the class item, we have time dilation, Reaper, as well as Bomber. Bomber, so we can get our grenade back faster. Reaper, so we can make more orbs after using a class ability. And lastly, time dilation, so both our weapon surge and our melee font last a little longer. And that's pretty much the mods that you want to go with. And with that, that's pretty much going to be the whole build. The build itself is pretty simple. You consume your grenade, and then you start suspending everything. The actual exotic works just so well at giving you some more survivability and more damage to your suspense that it's very easy to use work into basically any suspend build. All you gotta do is just suspend a bunch of targets. You wanna stay back, build up the stacks of your bow, and just continuously suspend things over and over again. Remember, your other weapons will also suspend while your strength's active, so make sure you don't forget about that and you don't just use the bow. I do love the bow, but against some bigger enemies, it does feel kind of weak, so that's when you pull out your rocket pulse rifle and just kill everything. And for the main stats to look for this build, grenade is important, but not too important. You don't want to go over 90, because anything over 100, you know, you're not really using your grenade for damage. So as long as you have like 90 plus grenade stat, you can start dumping the rest of it into either weapon, super, and maybe some melee. You know, since we are using quite a bit of melee, but that's about it. Overall, I really like this new exotic. I think it really gives the suspend build something they were missing, which is a bit more damage as well as a bit more survivability. Anyways, thank you for watching, thank you for stopping by. Like always, there's gonna be a dim link in the comments below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, hopefully you guys enjoyed the build, and if you guys do end up trying it, make sure you guys come back here and just let me know what you guys thought of it. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.